I did something. So, about 2 weeks ago, I did an experiment on myself and I decided to drink 6 liters, which is close to 1.5 gallons of water every single day for 7 days and see what happens. And I did it. I drank water every day for 7 days and things happened. And there were some major changes that I noticed in my body. But before I get to that, I want to talk a bit about why I did it. So, yeah, growing up, I didn't drink a lot of water. I drank way below the recommended water intake limit measurement, water level intake. I drank very little water, even though the recommended level of water intake is 2 to 3 liters. And when I was a kid, I didn't really think that drinking less water was affecting me in any way. I mean, my skin looked just fine, my body was just fine, and everything was going well until puberty hit. That's when I started to get really oily skin and lots of acne, and my face would just look so dull in the middle of the day. Even right after I wash it, like within a couple minutes, it would start to look so dull. The people around me, usually my parents, they would tell me that it's because you're not drinking enough water, and at that time I didn't believe them, and for a long time I did not. When this year started, I decided that I was gonna do this experiment and actually see what happens. I was gonna drink a lot of water and notice at the end of 7 days if it actually made any changes to my body. So I did. I drank water every single day like a whale. I can't think of any other animal that drinks a lot of water. I drank water like a whale. So there's two main things that I wanted to see through this experiment. I just wanted to see if it made any changes to my skin, whether it reduced blemishes, scars, pimples, acne, stuff like that, whether it made my face or my skin look fresher in general. So that's one thing that I wanted to see. Second thing was whether it had any effect on my weight. Now, I didn't do this for weight loss at all. I just did it to see in general what effects it had, but I figured that weight would be something that water intake would directly affect. So let's talk about what science has to say about water intake. So I did some research and I found out that water has plenty of benefits. It has benefits. So it has plenty of benefits. What has plenty of benefits? So it helps maintain the oil and water balance on your skin. It reduces blemishes, acne. It makes your skin and your body in general heal faster. It helps transport oxygen throughout your body, and it's good for your joints because it lubricates them. And it's also good for digestion, it's good for your kidneys, and it's good for weight loss. Yeah, so the actual experience of it, I started to drink 6 liters of water, and I chose 6 liters. Yeah, I should have talked about this before, why I chose 6 liters of water. So the recommended level of water intake on a daily basis is 2 to 3 liters, and I figured that if I wanted to see a visible change in my body in a short amount of time, I would have to drink way more than the recommended level. So I decided to kind of triple it. So instead of 2 to 3 liters, I drank 6 liters of water every day, which is a lot. There were ups and downs, honestly. Since I was consuming so much water, I had to go to the bathroom a lot. And it's good if you are usually home a lot. If you work from home, if you are on vacation, then it's good because your washroom is right there, and you're comfortable using it. And so the experience had pros and cons. Like drinking more water made me more thirsty, which made me drink more water. So it was like a positive feedback loop, which was good because I didn't have to force myself to drink water every day. It was just like a natural instinct, a natural reaction for my body. Before I did the experiment, I used to snack a lot between meals, but once I started drinking 6 liters of water every day, I started to feel less and less hungry. I used to snack much less. I would only feel hungry during meal time, so during breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then we have the cons. And the first main con is that I had to use the washroom a lot. I had to go to the restroom at least once every half hour, which is okay if you're at home. If you're outside, say if you're in an office or in college or school, and you use the restroom every half hour, people are gonna think that something is terribly wrong with you. Another con is that I used to forget to drink water a lot of the times because once you get engrossed in work or watching television or doing an activity, you forget that you have to keep drinking water. And when that happens, suddenly I'll realize, oh, I was supposed to drink this much water per hour, but then I forgot, so I have to drink more water in less amount of time just to compensate for that. Okay, but let's talk about the thing that you actually clicked this video for. Let's talk about the results. The results were definitely worth the entire experience, in my opinion. It just made a huge difference to the quality of my skin. Like before I did this experiment, I was a very bad water drinker, and because of that my skin was just unhealthy in general. It was, like I said, oily and scarry, and it was just not fresh. My face would be very pale. But after I started drinking water, first, the most visible change was that my acne had dramatically reduced and almost gone. And even the scars that I had in the sides of my cheeks, they were also almost gone. I noticed that my skin started to not get oily. For example, before I did this experiment, whenever I touched my face, I could actually see the oil kind of imprinted on my hand. But after I started drinking water, it just dramatically reduced. And even when I did get acne, it would be really small and it wouldn't leave a scar when it went away, which was the complete opposite of what my skin was like before. Whenever I got a pimple, it would 99% leave a dark black scar on my face, which would take like, I don't know, 10 months to clear up. So that was the difference that I noticed in my skin, and it was remarkable. And I'm so glad that I did it, because I feel now my skin is much healthier, and I'm gonna try my best to keep it that way. So I don't really think that my weight had increased because I drank water. I think it's just regular fluctuations that happen in weight. And another thing that I noticed towards the end of this experiment was, it may not be directly linked, it's just something that I observed, and I'm sure that this has no scientific base at all. But I noticed that I was in a much better mood in general when I started drinking more water. I was more positive, and I felt kind of stronger. Now, here's the thing. This may also be because I was with my family at that time, and I just was in a nice, happy mood. So all in all, this was a very interesting experience. It made a lot of positive changes in my body. But I just want to say one thing, that it's not good to consume too much water. Also, there's a thing called water poisoning, where if you drink more than a particular amount of water per hour, it can actually be bad for your kidneys, and it can ruin the electrolyte balance in your blood. So please be careful when you do this. Don't take it to an extreme level. Like in the beginning of this experiment, I was stupid enough to drink 9 liters of water a day, and after 24 hours I realized that I was very dumb. But let that also be a lesson. Do everything in moderation, and if you decide to do this, then try to do it in increments. Like, one mistake that I think I made was I tried to just drink 6 liters of water from the beginning, day one itself, and it made it very difficult for me to actually drink that much water, because I was forcing my body to do something that it was not used to doing before. So maybe try taking baby steps. Try drinking like maybe 2 liters of water, and then 3, 4, 5, whatever suits you. But just please be safe if you do this. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.